Each of us is a journey brought into being by nature. Believing in yourself is not merely a fleeting feeling, it is a lasting state of mind, an inner source of strength that carries us forward on life's path. That belief is not something distant or unattainable. It is the ability to look deeply into your true self, to accept both your strengths and weaknesses, and to use all of them to build a more mature version of yourself. Think about it. How many times in your life have you missed an opportunity simply because you doubted yourself? How many brilliant ideas or burning dreams have been buried by the fear of failure and hesitation? Weak self-belief not only makes us hesitate but also slowly erodes hope, convincing us that we are not capable of reaching what we truly deserve. This is why nurturing belief in yourself is so important, not just belief in your own abilities, but also trust and goodwill toward those around you. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, teaches us that confidence does not come from the world's recognition, nor from external praise. It arises when we have the courage to face the truth. We are not perfect, yet we are still worthy enough to keep trying. Seneca once said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." Epictetus similarly emphasized that human happiness and strength lie in controlling how we respond, rather than worrying about what is beyond our power. Confidence is more than a choice. It is when we stop comparing ourselves to others, stop seeking approval from the outside, and turn inward to realize that we already possess the strength to overcome challenges. When you believe in yourself, each failure is no longer an ending, but a lesson, a building block for growth. It also strengthens us in every step we take and in the way we think. Let me share a story. Stepping onto the stage, Lynn was a shy girl, always hesitant in front of a crowd. She loved literature and poetry, but whenever her teacher asked her to read aloud in class, her heart would race, her body tense, and her eyes would instinctively look away. The outside world felt harsh to her, and she often wondered, will people laugh at me? Will I disappoint them? Today, she knew she could no longer avoid it. The teacher announced that each student would read a poem of their choice aloud. Lynn's hands trembled as she held her notebook. Each page seemed heavier than usual. Stepping onto the stage, her body felt stiff, her hands and legs shaking. The whispers of classmates echoed in her mind, almost making her turn back. But Lynn reminded herself, I just need to step forward. Even if I'm shaking, even if I'm scared, I'm doing something I never dared to do before. She took a deep breath, looked straight at the class, and began reading the first lines of her poem. Her voice was shaky at first, but gradually her breathing evened out, and her words grew steadier. She realized that confidence is not the absence of fear, but the courage to act despite it. When she finished, the classroom was silent for a moment before erupting in applause. Lynn felt her heart calm, replaced by a strange, exhilarating joy. She realized that standing up and challenging herself, even in small ways, could change how she saw herself. From that day on, Lynn learned that each time she stepped out of her comfort zone, her confidence grew a little, and her fear became smaller. After class, Lynn smiled as she recalled that moment on stage. She promised herself to keep challenging her limits every day, whether it was reading poetry to a small group of friends, joining a literary club, or simply speaking her thoughts in class. Confidence is not a gift we are born with. It is something we cultivate daily through courageous acts, even the smallest ones. Of course, building that belief is not a matter of a single day. It must be nurtured daily through small acts, keeping promises to yourself, acting consistently with your values, taking time to listen to your inner voice, and learning to forgive yourself when you make mistakes. Each small action is a step on the journey to strengthening your inner resilience. Dưới đây là bản dịch tiếng Anh theo ngữ pháp tự nhiên và giọng văn của người Mỹ, giữ nguyên ý nghĩa và cảm xúc của câu chuyện. The second story I want to share with you is a lesson from failure. Hai was a first-year college student, always living within his comfort zone. He enjoyed studying, but he had never dared to enter competitions or take on big challenges because he was afraid of failing. Every time he thought about presenting an idea in front of the class or joining a debate contest, His heart would race, his hands would get clammy, and fear would consume his mind. Hai constantly told himself, "I'm not good enough. If I fail, everyone will laugh at me." One day, his communication skills professor announced a presentation competition open to all students in the department. At first, Hai wanted to skip it, but after hearing encouragement from his roommate, "You should try. Even if you fail, it's okay. At least you'll learn something," he decided to sign up. The anxiety was still heavy, but deep down, Hai knew this was a chance to change himself. The following weeks were challenging. Hai had to prepare his presentation, learn to control his voice, practice in front of a mirror. Some days he felt exhausted and wanted to give up, and the fear of failure resurfaced strongly. But every time that happened, Hai reminded himself, "I can do this. At least I'll give it my best shot." He began to realize that failure was not something terrible but an opportunity to learn. On the day of the competition, Hai stood in front of the crowd, his heart pounding. He recalled all the practice sessions, every line, every gesture. When he began presenting, his voice trembled at first, but the more he spoke, the more confident he felt. The attentive faces and focused eyes of the audience were no longer intimidating. Instead, they became a source of motivation. Hai finished his presentation with a smile, his heart full of pride. Although he didn't win first place, he had overcome his own fear, and for the first time, he truly felt the power of genuine confidence. After the competition, Hai learned an important lesson. Confidence does not always come from winning, but from daring to face failure and acting despite fear. He began participating in more activities, no longer avoiding challenges. Hai understood that every failure, every mistake, was a stepping stone toward growth. He even encouraged other shy friends to join competitions, shared his story, and helped them become braver. He became more courageous in front of crowds, confident in his studies, in communication, and in everyday decisions. Hai learned that confidence is a process, built through experiences, patience, and honestly facing challenges. If you're reading these words, it means you've already begun a path of change. By exploring Stoic philosophy, you are planting new seeds of inner freedom and personal strength. I want to thank you for accompanying me this far and invite you to continue walking, not to become someone else, but to return to your true self. Remember, confidence is not something you find somewhere outside. It is something you build from your own heart. And once you have it, no adversity can conquer you. When you start asking yourself, "Who am I really? What do I believe in? What truly matters in my life?" you open a journey back to your authentic self. Only by living according to principles you choose rather than trying to meet others' expectations can you find inner peace and lasting stability. That stability is the true root of confidence. Confidence does not come from others' recognition. It comes from having the courage to look inward. When you dare to observe yourself, you clearly see the areas you need to improve while also appreciating the efforts and achievements you've accomplished. This process of self-reflection does not happen once and end. It is an ongoing journey of learning, growth, and discovery. On that journey, you will surely encounter failure, make mistakes, and face obstacles. But remember, failure is not the end. It is an essential part of building confidence. Stoic philosophy teaches us that every problem, every stumble, is an opportunity to train ourselves, to learn, and to become stronger. When you learn to accept and extract lessons from failure, instead of fearing or denying it, you build real strength, a strength that is not easily shaken by challenges. Confidence does not grow from mere thoughts. Stoics emphasize that theory alone is not enough. You must live it, applying it every day. Every time you face what you fear, every time you make a brave decision instead of avoiding it, and every time you choose to live according to your beliefs, you are planting the seeds of lasting confidence. Dưới đây là bản dịch tiếng Anh theo ngữ pháp tự nhiên và giọng văn của người Mỹ. Giữ nguyên ý nghĩa và cảm xúc của câu chuyện. Story 3. Courage in Speaking Up. Lan was a second-year college student, full of unique ideas in class, yet she often remained silent. She feared that if she spoke up, people would laugh or judge her, making her feel inadequate. During group discussions, she usually let others take the floor, even though she had ideas that could help solve problems. Gradually, Lan felt like an invisible presence, and her lack of confidence grew. One day, Lan's class was assigned an important group project that involved presenting solutions to improve a product. She noticed that her group was going in the wrong direction, but hesitated to speak up. While preparing, she asked herself, should I stay silent or share my perspective? What if I'm wrong? After many nights of reflection, Lan decided she could no longer hide. She told herself, I have to try. At least I will speak up instead of regretting my silence. On the day of the presentation, Lan took a deep breath, stood in front of the group, and voiced her opinion. She spoke clearly and logically, explaining why the current approach wasn't optimal and suggesting an alternative solution. At first, a few people seemed surprised, but gradually they listened, asked questions, and engaged with her ideas. The racing heart and initial fear slowly gave way to a quiet sense of pride. Lan realized that she was not only contributing to the group, but also expressing herself. As a result, the group adjusted their direction based on Lan's input, and the project achieved excellent results. The praise from teachers and classmates surprised her, but more importantly, she learned a crucial lesson. True confidence comes from daring to speak up, even in the face of fear and anxiety. Lan understood that the fear of judgment is just a feeling, and it diminishes as you take action. After this experience, Lan began changing her daily approach to life. In class, she became more engaged, participating in discussions and sharing ideas without fearing rebuttal. In study groups, she actively shared her perspectives, helping the group solve problems creatively. Lan realized that each time she spoke up was a step toward building confidence, and that confidence grew stronger the more she challenged herself. Over time, Lan understood that confidence is not something you are born with. It is the result of consistently practicing courage, expressing yourself, and taking risks. She also learned that speaking up not only benefits yourself, but also helps others, creating positive influence and opening new opportunities. Lan became proactive, decisive, and confident in her studies, group work, and personal life. Ultimately, Lan discovered a truth. Confidence does not always come from success, but from daring to speak, daring to act, and taking responsibility for yourself. From a shy girl, Lan became a role model for her classmates, many of whom had hesitated to share their own ideas. The first step on this journey is understanding yourself. Self-awareness goes beyond listing your strengths and weaknesses. It's about connecting them to the core values you truly believe in. Epictetus, a famous Stoic philosopher, reminded us that we must examine our motives, fears, and beliefs that drive our actions. Only by confronting this truth can you build genuine confidence, not the kind based on others' approval or praise. Knowing yourself is even more important than knowing where you excel or fall short. It's the act of linking each strength and weakness to the principles you choose to live by. When you align everything within yourself with a clear belief, you stand firmer in the face of challenges because you know why you live the way you do. In short, confidence does not come from wealth, status, or recognition from others. It is nurtured from within, from honesty with yourself, from the courage to face mistakes, and from the determination to live according to the values you believe in. When you achieve this, you discover the strongest, freest, and most complete version of yourself. Dưới đây là bản dịch tiếng Anh theo ngữ pháp và ngôn từ tự nhiên của người Mỹ, giữ nguyên ý nghĩa và giọng văn truyền cảm hứng. The seemingly random coincidences in life can often serve as mirrors, reflecting how strong your inner belief truly is. When you learn to take advantage of these moments, you can apply them to your daily life as a way to cultivate self-discipline and personal growth. Try to recall your reactions in challenging situations. When difficulties arise, do you respond immediately based on emotion, or do you pause for a moment to act with clarity and in alignment with the values you genuinely hold? It is precisely these small choices, everyday decisions, that seem ordinary, that lay the foundation for true confidence. You do not act out of fear or to please others. You act because you understand who you are and know what the right path is. A person with lasting confidence is not the one who reacts the fastest, but the one who is honest with themselves, thinking carefully before taking action. Whenever you ask yourself, does this reflect my true nature? Does it align with my deepest values and beliefs? You are gradually strengthening your faith in yourself and your confidence. Every thoughtful decision not only makes you stronger, but also allows you to live more authentically. Remember, building confidence is not a rushed journey. It begins with a simple yet firm foundation: self-understanding. This requires time, patience, and above all, honesty with yourself. Along the way, you will confront uncomfortable truths, but at the same time, you will discover potential, abilities, and inner strength that you never realized you possessed. Self-awareness also involves accepting imperfection, acknowledging that sometimes you cannot know everything, that you can be vulnerable, and that feeling uncertain or uneasy is completely natural. It is this acceptance that opens the door to genuine growth. Knowing your limits, understanding your weaknesses, and learning to remain calm amid uncertainty, these are essential steps toward fully developing as a human being. When you learn to accept yourself deeply, it is like removing invisible chains that have bound you. This acceptance does not make you passive. On the contrary, it opens the door for you to step out of your comfort zone, experiment with new experiences, and encounter moments that can completely transform the way you see yourself and the world around you. Dưới đây là bản dịch tiếng Anh theo ngữ pháp và ngôn từ tự nhiên của người Mỹ. Zu, nguyên ý nghĩa và giọng văn truyền, cảm hứng. Storyborn. Confidence through overcoming challenges. Hai was a young man who loved mountain climbing, but he had always been afraid of high and dangerous terrains. Whenever he went on outings with friends, he usually chose the easy path, avoiding steep cliffs or rugged trails. He knew he was missing out on opportunities to explore breathtaking scenery and strengthen his body, but fear and a lack of confidence held him back. One day, his friends invited Hai on a more challenging climb, which included a sheer rock face that everyone had to overcome to reach the summit. At first, Hai's heart raced and he felt anxious, wanting to refuse immediately. But deep down, a small voice whispered, "If you don't try, you'll never know what you're capable of. This is your chance to change." Hai decided he had to face his fear, even knowing it would be very difficult. On the day of the climb, Hai took slow, deliberate steps, focusing on his breathing and every movement of his hands and feet. At first, everything seemed overwhelming. The steep rocks and strong winds made him tremble, and several times he felt like giving up. But Hai reminded himself, every step forward is a step toward confidence. I have to keep going. With patience and determination, Hai gradually conquered the dangerous cliff, step by step reaching the summit. Standing at the top, looking down at the valley below, Hai felt a profound happiness. Not just because of the stunning view, but because he knew he had overcome his own fear. In that moment, he realized that true confidence comes from facing challenges and pushing beyond one's limits, not from mere outward displays of courage. This climbing experience completely transformed Hai. From someone who used to avoid difficulties, he became proactive in seeking new challenges, no longer intimidated by opportunities he once thought were too much. Every obstacle he overcame strengthened his confidence and reinforced his belief in his own abilities. Beyond improving his physical and mental strength, the climb also taught Hai how to manage his emotions. He learned to control fear, maintain focus, and stay calm in tense situations. These skills were not only useful in climbing but also applied to his studies, work, and social relationships. Through this challenge, Hai understood that every difficulty is an opportunity to learn, grow, and develop confidence. He no longer feared the unknown, instead seeing obstacles as steps toward a better version of himself. His confidence was not innate. It was the result of daring to face, challenge, and overcome fear. Ultimately, Hai became an inspiration to his friends, many of whom had also been hesitant to take on challenges. He demonstrated that true confidence comes from stepping out of your comfort zone, embracing risk, and persevering through difficulties. Every climb, every new challenge, became a chance for Hai to strengthen his self-belief and grow stronger and more confident in everyday life. Another key element in the journey of self-awareness is understanding and harnessing the power of your thoughts and personal beliefs. How you talk to yourself, how you define your own value, and the beliefs you nurture about your true capabilities, all of these directly impact your confidence. By cultivating positive self-talk and boldly challenging persistent doubts, you can gradually shift your perspective and build confidence from the ground up. Self-awareness also means observing and valuing your emotions. Every feeling, whether positive or negative, carries a message. What matters to you? What hidden fears you have? And what truly motivates you? When you learn to listen to these emotions and understand their underlying causes, you discover your core drives, deepest goals, and aspirations that you may not have recognized before. This understanding leads to a vital quality: authenticity. When you know your core values and are determined to live by them, you become a steadfast person. Even in social situations where others may expect you to conform, staying true to yourself becomes a guiding compass that helps you grow, stay grounded, and remain confident. Authenticity also allows you to build deeper relationships, as others can sense the honesty and inner strength you radiate. In short, understanding yourself is the foundation for building lasting confidence. Every step you take on the journey of self-discovery not only helps you see your true self more clearly, but also enables you to connect better with others and expand your perspective on life. The more you understand yourself, the easier it becomes to grow, surpass old limits, and become a fuller, stronger version of yourself each day. Dưới đây là bản dịch tiếng Anh theo ngữ pháp và giọng văn tự nhiên của người Mỹ. Giữ nguyên ý nghĩa truyền cảm hứng. Story 5. Confidence through learning from failure. Min was a young man passionate about illustration. Since childhood, he had dreamed of becoming a professional artist, but his confidence was fragile. Every time he submitted his work to competitions or posted his drawings online, he feared criticism. This hesitation often made him miss valuable opportunities, delaying submissions and avoiding experimenting with new styles. One day, Min decided to enter an international art competition. It was a major opportunity, but it also meant facing many talented artists and receiving critical feedback. Min spent weeks preparing, but when he submitted his work, he still felt uneasy. Soon after, the results were announced. Min did not win any prizes and received candid comments, pointing out weaknesses in his technique and use of color. At first, Min felt disappointed and insecure. He thought, "I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not cut out to be a professional artist." But then he paused and reframed his perspective. This failure isn't the end. It's an opportunity to learn. If I carefully analyze the feedback, I can see what I need to improve. Min decided not to give up. He took notes on all the judges' comments, studied new techniques, and practiced every day. The process wasn't easy at first. Min had to redraw many pieces, revise details he had once been proud of, and face the fear of failing again. But gradually, he realized that every failure carried a valuable lesson. No longer afraid or hesitant, Min began experimenting with different styles, taking risks with colors and composition, and through this process, his unique artistic voice became clearer. After several months of diligent practice, Min entered another competition. This time, he was less concerned about winning or receiving praise. Instead, he focused on expressing his skills and ideas. When the results were announced, Min earned an honorable mention. More importantly, he felt a deep sense of confidence. He realized that true confidence is not about always winning. It's about standing up, learning from failure, and continuing to persevere. This experience changed how Min viewed himself and his art. He no longer feared failure, but embraced it as an essential part of growth. Each completed artwork, even if imperfect, reminded him, "I am improving. I am getting stronger." He began taking freelance projects, sharing his knowledge and techniques with other young artists, which further reinforced his self-confidence. Min learned that genuine confidence is built through continuous learning, accepting failure, and persistently pursuing goals. Failure is not the end. It is an opportunity to refine skills, strengthen resolve, and better understand one's abilities. From a hesitant young man, Min became a confident artist, knowing that each step, whether challenging or mistaken, contributes to growth and resilience. Another key lesson is understanding that some things in life are beyond your control. Instead of wasting energy on what cannot be changed, Stoic philosophy teaches us to focus on what we truly can control: our thoughts, actions, and reactions. This principle is essential for building lasting confidence and self-belief. The truth is, not everything goes as we wish, but strength lies in how we choose to respond. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, emphasized that what matters is not what happens around us, but how we perceive and act in response. Accepting limits is not surrender. It is a courageous act that frees mental energy to focus on what you can change. A practical step is to observe yourself in daily life. When feeling insecure or frustrated, ask, "Am I trying to control something beyond my ability?" Recognizing this helps you let go of futile efforts, focus on inner resources, and choose actions that truly matter. Confidence does not come from controlling everything around you. It comes from a deep understanding of your own limits and capabilities. By accepting what cannot be changed while actively doing your best in what you can, you become more resilient, adaptable, and gradually attain inner calm. Through this process, you will realize that the ability to adapt and maintain composure not only strengthens you in the face of challenges, but also builds genuine confidence. Confidence grounded in self-knowledge, acceptance, and mastery over your inner world. You are no longer swayed by external circumstances, and your energy can be directed toward developing what truly matters. Indeed, self-belief is not merely a feeling, but the ability to live by a deeper principle. This aligns with one of Epictetus's key teachings: learn to be content with what is beyond your control and focus on improving what you can influence. By adopting this mindset, life becomes more meaningful and your soul finds inner peace. Accepting that not everything is within your control reduces stress from trying to micromanage every detail. This calm allows you to observe your actions more clearly and consider how you can improve in each situation. Instead of focusing on the unchangeable, you learn to make the most of your abilities and resources. This awareness creates a sense of independence and self-mastery, even when you cannot control the world around you. You see that, although you cannot predict or change the past, nor know exactly what the future holds, you can choose how to live in the present moment. It also means letting go of anger, worry, or regret about what has passed and concentrating on improving yourself today. Another essential factor is being kind to yourself, especially when things get tough. Recognizing that mistakes are inevitable and that this is how we learn and grow helps nurture confidence. Viewing failures as learning opportunities enables clearer thinking and forward progress, rather than being stuck in disappointment or helplessness. Finally, adopting this mindset, accepting what truly belongs to you, and focusing on it builds inner strength, allowing you to live calmly, act wisely, and move steadily along your path of personal growth. By balancing what can and cannot be changed, life becomes lighter, more meaningful, and each day a step toward a stronger, more confident you. Dưới đây là bản dịch tiếng Anh tự nhiên, đúng ngữ pháp, giọng Mỹ, giữ nguyên ý nghĩa và phong cách truyền cảm hứng. Story Sao. Confidence through self-understanding. Lu Yan is a project manager at a tech company. She has always been a perfectionist, wanting everything in the company to run flawlessly according to her plans. At first, her meticulousness earned her colleagues' respect, but over time, the pressure to control everything left her exhausted and stressed. When projects encountered issues beyond her control, like system errors or delays from partners, Lu Yan would worry, lose sleep, and even doubt her own abilities. One day, the company was preparing to launch a major project with an international client. Lu Yan tried to control every step, from design and programming to reporting, but the more she tried, the more stuck she felt. During a meeting with her boss, she was reminded, Luyen, you can't control everything. True confidence doesn't come from control. It comes from knowing your limits and your capabilities. These words made Luyen reflect. She began to realize that trying to control everything only reduced efficiency and drained energy. Instead, she started analyzing her own strengths, planning skills, team organization, and communication abilities. For areas beyond her expertise, like handling technical errors or deeply managing partner schedules, Luyen learned to delegate and trust her colleagues. Gradually, Luyen noticed she was less stressed, made decisions more quickly, and became more confident in managing the areas she could influence. When the project encountered setbacks, she no longer panicked but calmly observed, I can't control everything, but I can ensure the team stays on track and make wise decisions. Her colleagues also felt more comfortable being trusted, and overall team productivity increased significantly. Ultimately, the project succeeded, exceeding the client's expectations. Luyen realized that true confidence doesn't come from controlling everything around you, but from understanding your own abilities, accepting your limits, and delegating wisely. With this awareness, she not only felt less stressed, but also became a calm, steady leader whom others trusted. Learning to accept the events of life allows you to live more authentically. When you stop trying to control what is beyond your reach, you free up energy to focus on what truly matters, your values and passions. Life then becomes richer, more meaningful, and full of joy, while your confidence grows because you are living in alignment with your true self. This confidence develops naturally when you choose to live honestly, with clear and consistent goals. Accepting what cannot be changed while focusing on what you can do allows you to master your energy and direction. Knowing your limits and recognizing that some things are out of reach prevents wasted effort and instead directs your energy toward meaningful actions, choices that reflect who you really are. By maintaining this mindset, you not only build confidence but also develop clarity and composure. You learn to respond wisely to challenges, maintain inner peace, and create a fuller, more grounded life. Another key element is knowing where to focus. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that your happiness and success largely depend on where you place your attention. Continually discerning what truly matters and ignoring distractions protects your mental energy and prevents being pulled away by unnecessary interruptions. As Marcus Aurelius said, our lives are shaped by the thoughts we nurture and the attention we choose to give. In an age full of distractions, discipline and practice are essential. Regularly removing unnecessary elements allows you to devote energy to your real goals, dreams, and core values, bringing you closer to a meaningful, accomplished, and self-directed life. Start by observing how your devices and surroundings affect your life. Identify what you are exposed to daily, from social media and news to other information that causes stress or worry. Recognizing these influences is the first step toward minimizing their negative impact. An effective way to reduce this impact is to set technology-free times. This could be a few hours each day or even one evening without your phone or social media, giving you space to reconnect with yourself. Learning to say no to things that don't align with your values or beliefs is also an important step. Additionally, focus on mental training exercises. Meditation is a powerful tool for training your mind to live in the present, reduce unnecessary worries, and strengthen focus. Another practice is to ask yourself daily, what is the most important thing I need to accomplish today? Maintaining this habit makes your actions purposeful, building confidence and clearer direction in life. Remember, focus is not just a short-term skill, it is a way of life. When you know what truly matters and let go of what doesn't, you can accomplish more while finding inner peace. You learn to distinguish what deserves attention and what can be ignored, allowing you to live fully and authentically. This is how Stoic philosophy views focus, not by monitoring everything around you, but by prioritizing what truly contributes to your personal growth. If you've applied these principles and noticed improvement, I encourage you to share your experience in the comments. It helps me and the community learn together. And if you're unsure what to write, simply share whatever comes to mind. Confidence is the foundation for understanding yourself and knowing what you are capable of. If you've followed along this far, remember that subscribing to the channel will help you continue receiving similarly valuable content. Dưới đây là bản dịch tiếng Anh tự nhiên, đúng ngữ pháp, giọng Mỹ, giữ nguyên ý nghĩa và phong cách truyền cảm hứng. Story by Van and the Lesson of Focus. Van is a senior college student who always wants to do everything at once. Studying, participating in clubs, exercising, helping friends, and even taking online courses to improve her skills. At first, she felt energetic and motivated, but after a few weeks, Van began to feel exhausted. She frequently experienced stress, missed important deadlines, and noticed that the quality of her work was declining. One afternoon, while juggling 3 assignments, a club meeting, and a sports practice, Van felt completely overwhelmed. She realized she was trying to track too many things at once, but nothing was getting done properly. She recalled a lesson from Stoic philosophy. Not everything is important. What truly matters is knowing what to focus on to grow and develop yourself. Van decided to make a change. She made a list of the truly important goals for the week, completing her thesis, preparing a class presentation, and maintaining a consistent exercise routine to stay alert and focused. Other things, like watching every video online or attending every social activity, she decided to put on hold. That week, Van noticed a remarkable difference. By focusing on what truly mattered, she completed her thesis ahead of schedule, delivered her presentation clearly and confidently, and still maintained her health and mental stability. The amazing part was that when she knew what was important, everything else became easier, and she no longer felt drowned by her responsibilities. Ultimately, Van realized that focus is not about doing multiple things at the same time, but about selectively prioritizing what really matters for personal growth. This approach not only made her more effective, but also boosted her confidence, helped her take control of her life, and allowed her to approach everything with calmness, as Stoic philosophy teaches. Returning to the 4th tip, developing inner strength. Stoicism emphasizes that true strength is innate but must be cultivated. Simply surviving challenges is not enough. True resilience shows when you turn obstacles into opportunities for growth. As the ancient philosophers said, it is not what happens to us that matters, but how we respond and handle it. Stoic philosophy teaches that every mistake in every difficult situation carries a valuable lesson. Instead of feeling disappointed or blaming yourself, ask, what can I learn from this experience? What can I do differently to improve? Approaching challenges with a mindset of learning and growth gradually builds mental resilience and lasting confidence. True resilience is not just about enduring difficult moments, it's about learning to maximize your own potential. Every day, you can train your perseverance in different ways, completing a long postponed task, facing loss, or confronting your deepest fears. Each experience is an opportunity to become stronger, more confident, and more aware of your capabilities. The key is maintaining a stoic mindset, focusing not on what happens but on how you respond. When facing challenges, remain calm and confident, viewing them as opportunities to learn, grow, and strengthen your inner resources. Remember, resilience does not mean ignoring reality or suppressing emotions. It means accepting that life is not always fair or easy, but you have the strength to face and manage every situation. By cultivating this resilience, your confidence will increase significantly, allowing you to live fully and confront challenges calmly and steadily. To become strong in the Stoic way, you must learn long-term thinking, not just focus on immediate problems. Instead of seeing today's challenges as obstacles, view them as valuable opportunities to grow and prepare for the future. Every difficult moment holds lessons that help you mature and strengthen your inner power. One essential tool for building resilience is gratitude. Focusing on what you have rather than what you lack helps maintain a positive attitude even in the midst of storms. Gratitude allows you to see challenges not as burdens, but as opportunities to learn, improve, and gradually increase your personal strength. Additionally, relationships with those around you are crucial. When you share, help, and engage with a supportive community, you feel less alone during challenging times. These connections provide comfort and remind you that you are not facing difficulties by yourself. Practicing resilience through Stoic philosophy is a long-term commitment to continuous self-development. It requires viewing every experience, whether joyful or challenging, as an opportunity to learn about yourself and the world around you. By adopting this mindset, you learn to embrace life's ups and downs with calmness, confident in your ability to face and overcome any obstacle, from the smallest challenge to the most significant crisis. Dưới đây là bản dịch tiếng Anh tự nhiên, đúng ngữ pháp, giọng Mỹ, giữ nguyên ý nghĩa và phong cách truyền cảm hứng. Story 8. Ngok and the Journey of Resilience. Ngok is a young programmer who aspires to become an expert in her field. When starting a complex project at her company, she faced countless challenges: persistent bugs in the code, demanding requests from colleagues, and tight deadlines. At first, Ngok felt discouraged, exhausted, and tempted to give up. One evening, sitting alone at her desk, Ngok recalled a lesson from Stoic philosophy she had read. Resilience is not about avoiding challenges, but about turning obstacles into opportunities for learning and growth. She decided to change her approach. Instead of stressing over things beyond her control, Ngok focused on what she could do. Refining each section of code, communicating candidly with her colleagues about feasible solutions, and learning from every mistake. Over the following weeks, Ngok experienced plenty of setbacks. Once, a critical bug appeared right before a client demo. Another time, the project was delayed due to factors beyond her control. But instead of becoming disheartened, Ngok viewed each failure as a lesson. She noted the mistakes, found ways to correct them, and approached the next day's work with a clearer and calmer mindset. Gradually, Ngok's skills and confidence grew. She no longer allowed pressure or disappointment to control her, and she learned to regulate her emotions, focus on practical actions, and patiently develop her abilities. Every challenge became a stepping stone, helping Ngok grow stronger, more capable, and ready to face future difficulties. Ultimately, when the project succeeded, Ngok realized that resilience is not about achieving perfect results immediately, but about committing to long-term self-development, learning from challenges, and maintaining composure in the face of adversity. She understood that the journey of resilience is continuous, and it is this mindset that helps her become a better version of herself. By combining long-term thinking, gratitude, and supportive relationships, you not only become more persistent, but also build inner strength to move forward confidently in any situation. Every difficulty becomes an opportunity, and it is this resilience that fosters calmness, self-assurance, and personal growth with each challenge. The power of Stoic philosophy is not merely an abstract concept, it is a practical way of life that helps us confront life's difficulties, learn from them, and turn obstacles into stepping stones for growth. Practicing resilience allows us not only to survive tough times, but also to emerge stronger, wiser, and more confident in ourselves. Stoic resilience transforms each challenge into a chance to strengthen the mind and spirit while enhancing self-mastery and self-awareness. Another key principle emphasized in Stoicism is humility. When striving to build confidence, it is easy to slip into arrogance. But true confidence does not require boasting or trying to appear superior. Practicing humility is one of the most important virtues, as it helps us recognize our limits, learn from others, and connect more deeply with the world around us. Epictetus emphasized that if you believe you know everything, you leave no room to learn and improve. Humility does not mean belittling yourself. Rather, it is understanding your place in the world and recognizing that, no matter how skilled or knowledgeable you are, there is always more to learn. A humble person listens actively, respects the opinions of others, and does not feel the need to prove they are always right. This balance between self-awareness and respect for others' value is a cornerstone of true personal growth and lasting confidence. Dưới đây là bản dịch tiếng Anh tự nhiên, đúng ngữ pháp, giọng Mỹ, giữ nguyên ý nghĩa, và phong cách truyền cảm hứng. Practicing humility every day can be challenging, especially in modern society, where appearances are often valued more than true character. However, learning to speak less, listen more, and recognize that you don't always need to be right can help you develop wisdom, cultivate genuine confidence, and build more lasting relationships. Humility is one of the foundations for growth, both mentally and intellectually, and it is the key to combining inner strength with practical intelligence in daily life. When you achieve something or complete a task successfully, take the time to appreciate your own efforts, just as you acknowledge the contributions of others. Every person you meet carries knowledge, skills, and experiences that you may not have encountered. By cultivating humility, you not only strengthen lasting self-trust, but also expand your capacity for flexibility and openness in understanding others. Interestingly, true humility often earns you more respect and admiration, as it reflects sincerity and inner strength. Humility does more than make you a better person. It also improves the way you communicate, collaborate, and build relationships. Practicing humility according to Stoic philosophy means recognizing and praising the accomplishments and virtues of others. This not only demonstrates respect but also allows you to learn from everyone you meet, understanding that each individual has unique value and contributes something meaningful. Appreciating these differences helps you fairly evaluate your own successes as well as those of others. Moreover, humility involves acknowledging that we don't know everything and that sometimes we need support from those with greater experience, knowledge, or perspective. This is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to inner strength and the capacity for growth. When you are open to learning from others, collaborating, and sharing, you not only develop yourself but also build deeper and more sustainable relationships. Humility also includes the ability to self-reflect, recognizing your mistakes, correcting them, and striving to make better decisions. This is an essential step in personal development, as it provides a foundation for honest self-awareness of your strengths, weaknesses, and true values. At the same time, take time to appreciate what you already have: family, friends, and opportunities, because this helps you focus on the present, cultivate gratitude, and reinforce belief in yourself. Gratitude plays a vital role in connecting with those around you, while also fostering a deeper sense of connection to the world. Recognizing that you are part of a larger whole allows you not only to understand your place, but also to value every relationship and opportunity life offers. Humility, in Stoic philosophy, is a crucial quality for nurturing enduring self-confidence. By practicing humility, we learn to value ourselves without arrogance, remain open to learning from others and our environment, and treat everyone with respect and honesty. Developing humility not only makes us better individuals, but also has a positive impact on the community, making the world around us more compassionate and connected. When you combine humility with gratitude, it becomes easier to maintain relationships, respect others, and appreciate the value of every experience in life. This forms the foundation for building true, lasting confidence. The next key principle is living according to personal values, a core element of confidence emphasized by Stoic philosophy. Belief in your values is not just an awareness of what matters to you, it also involves concrete actions to bring those values into everyday life. As Epictetus taught, merely speaking about what is right is not enough. You must act on it. Personal values act like a compass, guiding your decisions, shaping your behavior, and determining your path in life. When you clearly understand your most important values, such as honesty, courage, kindness, or loyalty, and commit to living by them, you strengthen inner confidence while creating a meaningful, fulfilling life. Living with integrity means acting and speaking in ways that align with your beliefs, even when it's difficult. It is a long-term practice that requires patience and loyalty to oneself, but it also brings mental strength and inner calm. When you truly achieve this, you not only become more confident, but also inspire those around you by living consistently with your values and beliefs. Dưới đây là bản dịch tiếng Anh tự nhiên, đúng ngữ pháp, giọng Mỹ. Especially in moments when others try to influence you to act against the deep values and beliefs you hold. Every time you choose to stay true to yourself rather than taking the easy path or following the crowd, you experience a profound sense of pride and satisfaction. These actions not only demonstrate to yourself that your beliefs matter and have meaning in life, but they also show that you are genuinely living in accordance with what you consider right. Maintaining integrity in daily life begins with small steps. If honesty is a core value for you, strive to speak the truth even when it is difficult, or show kindness through acts of helping others, even small ones that go unnoticed. These simple but consistent actions form the foundation that gradually shapes you into the person you aspire to become. It is important to remember that living according to your values is a continuous journey, not a specific destination. Along the way, you may make mistakes, but what matters is recognizing them, learning from them, and growing because of them. By establishing and upholding your personal values, you not only build genuine self-confidence, but also become a positive example for those around you. Being true to your values means acting transparently and consistently, speaking honestly, keeping your promises, and allowing your actions to reflect what you believe. This not only brings inner peace, but also earns the trust and respect of others. It also requires taking responsibility for your behavior, acknowledging mistakes when they occur, and making an effort to correct them. An essential part of sustaining and reinforcing this journey is regularly engaging in self-reflection, reviewing your decisions and actions to ensure they still align with the values you uphold. This ongoing self-assessment is a way to grow, improve yourself, and live more intentionally. A crucial element in this process is practicing gratitude every day. According to Stoic philosophy, gratitude not only helps you appreciate what you already have, but also nurtures lasting self-confidence, allowing you to recognize your own value and that of the people around you. By practicing gratitude consistently, you learn to view all experiences, both good and bad, as opportunities for growth, leading to a more purposeful, confident, and meaningful life. Dưới đây là bản dịch sang tiếng Anh, theo giọng Mỹ, tự nhiên và đúng ngữ pháp. Story time, Ha and the Power of Gratitude. Ha is a young woman working at an interior design company. At first, her life felt hectic, busy workdays, pressure from clients, and sometimes tense relationships. She often focused on what she didn't have, unfinished projects, and exhausting days that left her feeling discouraged. Every morning, Ha felt a silent weight pulling her down, and she often wondered whether life would ever be good enough for her. One afternoon during her lunch break, Ha happened to read a book on Stoic philosophy and came across a passage about gratitude. Be grateful every day, even for the smallest things, and you will realize your life is truly abundant. Those words made Ha pause and reflect. She asked herself whether she had ever truly paid attention to the good around her, or if she had only been noticing what was missing. Ha decided to try a new habit. Each morning, before getting out of bed, she would write down 3 things she was grateful for. At first, they were simple things: a delicious morning coffee, a coworker's smile, or the sunlight streaming through the office window. But gradually, Ha began to notice deeper things: her mother's patience, the care of friends, and the opportunities to learn from a project that had failed the previous week. One day, Ha faced a difficult client. Instead of feeling frustrated as she might have before, she reminded herself of what she was grateful for: the chance to improve her communication skills, her creativity in offering solutions, and the support of her colleagues. This mindset allowed her to engage with the client calmly and professionally. In the end, the client was not only satisfied but also impressed by Ha's attentive listening and problem-solving approach. Gratitude also helped Ha appreciate the small moments in everyday life. One weekend afternoon, sitting on a park bench, she watched a child playing, a couple holding hands, and the shade cast by the trees. She realized life wasn't just about projects, achievements, or pressures. It was also about these simple moments and genuine connections with those around her. The habit of writing down things she was grateful for also made Ha more open to others. She began praising colleagues for their good work, thanking friends and family, and recognizing that these small gestures created strong connections. When she helped a friend in need, Ha felt joy and a deeper sense of connection because she appreciated the opportunity to assist and support someone else. Over time, Ha found that gratitude didn't just change the way she viewed the world, it changed her. She became more patient, calmer in the face of difficulties, and more appreciative of each moment in life. Even when confronted with challenges, she no longer felt pressured or lacking. Instead, she saw opportunities to learn, to love, and to live more fully. Eventually, Ha realized that true power doesn't come from having everything she wants, but from appreciating what she already has, being grateful for the people around her, and recognizing the opportunities life provides. Through gratitude, she lived a meaningful, happy, and confident life, feeling that every day was a precious gift. Gratitude isn't just about appreciating grand events in life. It's also about recognizing the value of ordinary, everyday moments. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that each morning we wake up is a privilege to live, to breathe, to think, to experience. A simple but powerful practice is to write down at least 3 things you are grateful for each morning. These can be small: a sunny day, a fragrant cup of coffee, or the smile of someone you care about. This habit helps shift your focus from what you lack to what you already have, nurturing a positive mindset and an appreciation for the little things around you. Gratitude should also include recognizing the efforts and care of others, friends, family, or even strangers. This not only strengthens relationships but also creates a supportive network around you. Gratitude also changes how you view life's challenges. Instead of seeing difficulties as obstacles, view them as opportunities to learn, grow, and mature. This perspective not only increases resilience, but also helps you understand and appreciate the complexity of life. Another important factor in building confidence is maintaining a spirit of learning and curiosity. Expanding your knowledge and skills naturally enhances self-confidence. Stoicism emphasizes that learning is not just about acquiring academic knowledge, but also about exploring the world and to yourself. Epictetus said that only those committed to learning every day truly achieve freedom. Learning something new daily, whether knowledge, a skill, or a perspective, keeps your mind agile, adaptable to new circumstances, and fosters a lifelong love of learning. Curiosity also broadens your perspective, helping you accept and respect the diversity of experiences, viewpoints, and beliefs of others. Learning is a lifelong journey, and every new piece of knowledge you gain enriches your confidence and wisdom. Dưới đây là bản dịch sang tiếng Anh. Giữ giọng tự nhiên, đúng ngữ pháp và phong cách Mỹ. Story Chin. Why and the Journey of Curiosity. Vi, a young woman living in the city, always felt that she didn't fully understand the world around her. Since she was a child, she had been curious about everything: how people think, different cultural traditions, distant history, and modern science. Over time, however, she realized that curiosity isn't just about asking why or seeking new knowledge. It's also about approaching everything with respect. Whenever Vi met someone with a different perspective, she didn't rush to judge or assume she was right. Instead, she listened, asked questions, and tried to understand the reasoning behind their thoughts. Once, VY attended a course on world cultures, where she met people from many different countries, each bringing unique experiences and beliefs. During the discussions, she encountered perspectives that were completely opposite to her own. At first, she felt confused and uncomfortable, but she soon realized that these differences were opportunities to broaden her own perspective. Instead of clinging to rigid views, Vi learned to put herself in others' shoes, explore why they thought the way they did, and understand the context and experiences that shaped their viewpoints. These experiences not only helped Vi develop empathy, but also strengthened her confidence. She realized that her knowledge didn't need to be perfect. What mattered was her willingness to learn and her openness to accepting others. Her curiosity became a tool for connecting with people, building genuine relationships, and nurturing emotional intelligence. She began taking notes on lessons from each encounter and conversation, recognizing that every new piece of knowledge enriched her thinking and decision-making. VY also discovered that learning isn't just about reading books or absorbing theory. It's about experiencing the world, trying new things, and facing challenges she had previously avoided. She volunteered, tried learning a new musical instrument, and even studied an entirely unfamiliar language. Through each experience, she not only gained knowledge but also learned to adapt, be patient, and confront failure. These lessons contributed to building lasting confidence, as she understood that her abilities were shaped not by perfection, but by persistence, curiosity, and an open attitude. Ultimately, Vi realized that curiosity and lifelong learning are long journeys, but they offer endless value. As she continued exploring the world and people, she not only expanded her knowledge but also learned to respect differences, appreciate diverse experiences, and be grateful for every opportunity to grow. Her confidence didn't come from knowing everything. It came from understanding her own limits, recognizing the value of continuous learning, and believing that every piece of knowledge and every experience contributed to shaping her into a better version of herself. In conclusion, building confidence in the spirit of Stoicism requires practicing resilience, nurturing humility, living honestly according to your values, and maintaining curiosity and a love of learning. These principles allow you to see every challenge as an opportunity to grow and every moment in life as a chance to improve yourself. Acting in alignment with your values not only strengthens your confidence and steadiness, but also creates a positive impact on those around you, leading to a meaningful and fulfilling life. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's story. Through these experiences, we can see that true confidence isn't about knowing everything or controlling everything around you. It's about understanding yourself, recognizing your own values, and being willing to learn each day. By being resilient in the face of challenges, humble in the presence of others' knowledge and experience, living honestly according to your personal values, and cultivating gratitude, you gradually build a more fulfilling, peaceful, and meaningful life. These principles don't just help you grow personally, they also have a positive impact on those around you, creating an environment of connection, inspiration, and mutual learning. Every moment in life is an opportunity to improve, to develop your mind and spirit, and to become a better version of yourself. Remember, the journey of personal growth is continuous, and every step, no matter how small, makes a difference. Starting today, focus on what truly matters. Appreciate what you already have, and live with confidence, patience, and gratitude. By applying these principles in your life, each day becomes more meaningful, and you'll clearly feel your inner strength, solid self-confidence, and ability to overcome any challenge. Hit subscribe, like, and comment now to help us build a community of learning, growth, and living life to the fullest every day.